So for already, ladies and gentlemen, Australia coach Tim Sheens and captain Cameron Smith. Questions?
Tim, what did you think of that first up performance?
Not our best, no. But I won't take away from the English performance. I think they came out aggressive. Very first appearance on our line, they score. So they were ready to play. I think we had moments, but not our best game of football, no.
What did you put the start down to? Was there a bit of rust there?
Oh, look, a bit of pressure in the game. England scored early against us. That probably rocked us a bit. Then we tried to catch up, and that can. And we had 2 or 3 fundamental errors in our own half, which you just can't afford in Test matches. But to the credit of the guys, we pulled back and ended up leading at half time, and then we got a good start in the second half, and maybe. Clock watched a little at the back end, I don't know. But again, it was our fundamental errors, silly pass down short side that got them close again. So we've got some work to do, but as I say, I think England certainly came out to play. And given the issues that they supposedly had this week, I think they performed really well.
Did what England played surprise you, given all the talk of what's been going on behind this week?
No, I said all week that a side that's embarrassed can be a side that can be dangerous. They came out to play. The team that they put out there was a big, strong side, particularly through the forwards, and they worried us there. And had speed out wide. Young centres played really well, and came up with some big plays. So they got class on right through their side. So they were. It took a good effort from our guys to win that game.
Cameron, how difficult was the period to adjust to it? It seemed there were little slips that took away at times.
I think sort of more so for our edge guys. It was quite difficult underfoot. We had a training session here yesterday, and we sort of found that it was quite loose, the surface. But England had to play under its own conditions as well. So both teams did pretty well, I thought. Just very happy with the result. As Sheensy said, it wasn't our best performance by a long shot. We're pretty ordinary, to be blunt, in that first 20 minutes. But I was really happy with the boys' composure. We're under a lot of pressure there with England playing well early and them scoring first. But we found a way to come back and score some points.
It almost looked, Cameron, like it took England to get to that lead before it sparked you guys into action.
A little bit. I think a lot of it was to do with the lack of game time that we've had. Not too many of us have played in recent weeks. England have had a couple of games, but in saying that, we are the Australian side. We expect a lot more out of ourselves. We certainly wanted to play better football than what we did in that first 20 minutes. So I think, Sheensy mentioned after the game that we got plenty to work on, and I see that as a positive, given that we had a win today. But everyone's really happy with the victory, but we know that we can be a better football side next week.
What did you say to the players when you were down 10-20 minutes?
Just to stay composed. It was the same message I had before the game, is that we knew that there was going to be some errors in the match, and some decisions weren't going to go our way, but we knew that we had a good game plan, and if we stuck to that it was going to work for us. And in these big matches, the more simple the game plan that you have, the better that you're going to play. And particularly when you're down early, and given the way that the English side were playing, they were playing with a lot of confidence. They were very physical early. We just needed to withstand that punishment early, and our game come through.
Tim, there's a lot of competition for spots. How do you treat it looking forward to the the next game against Fiji?
Yeah, well, the next two games, not everyone in today's side will be rested. We can't afford that. We haven't got enough numbers. So we'll be giving as much football to the guys over the next 2 weeks rather, including today, as we can. But then, you break up your combinations and things as well, So, but we'll stick pretty hard to what we've been doing at training it with our game plan and so on, and get everyone working on the same page. So, and I'll give everyone an opportunity to impress. So over the next couple of games, the guys that didn't play today will get some football. Those who didn't get a lot of footy today, we used with 12 interchange. We're used to less than that. I only used 4 till half time. So some guys didn't get enough football. So we'll probably start a lot of guys again next week to pick up the game time. Yeah.
Tim, how pleasing or significant is it that you should now avoid the Kiwis in the semi-final?
Well, we prefer not to play before the end of the tournament. But again, our goal now is to really work hard over the next 2 games to improve ourselves and not drop our intensity. And it's easy to do that. You come off a game against England and one of the tournament big 3 as such, and so we need to play better over the next couple of weeks first. That's our main role at the moment. And whether we play England again or we play New Zealand, we'll wait and see. We're not going to worry about that just yet.
What did you think of the sense of occasion today under the roof, the opening game of the World Cup?
Yeah, look, a great crowd. I was pleased to see. The boys wouldn't realise, but the English crowd stood up and clapped their guys, and that was a good effort from them, very good effort, and I'm not going to underplay that either. They really played us into some errors, to be quite honest. They were aggressive in defence, they were at the ball, and it wasn't easy. We had some errors, we had some forced errors. They're the ones I think Cam and I more have a problem with. But there are plenty of errors there with just strong defence on us and forcing the issue with pressure. So, we need to get that right. But I think for the occasion, probably could have been a slightly better game for the game itself, if you know what I mean. But by the same token, it was close and kept everyone on their seats. I was certainly on the edge of my seat, so, which they like to do to me. But so from that point of view, I think it was a game that wasn't over at any staging. We kept coming back, and we had to run them down. So there was a little bit of drama in the game.
You had Andrew Fafita on debut, obviously. How do you feel like he handled the occasion?
He went well. Probably not a game where he really come to the fore because of heavy conditions and a fair amount of defence when he was on the field. A lot of your game when you're in interchange, if you come out and you get a lot of ball, it's a lot easier to shine, and Big Andrews, he loves that ball in his hand to run the ball. But he did his work. Yeah, he did his work. So I think for his first game, got the nerves out of the way, and a big game, big occasion. I think he'd be happy about that.
I guess the spotlight was on Billy in his last World Cup and what happened at the end there, and at the start he had a bit of a wayward pass out there. Do you think he redeemed himself over the course of the match?
Well, he's picked up the player's player but he had a few things in his game he's not happy with. Yeah. He's keen to play again this week, so that probably tells you.
How much improvement do you think you've got in the team?
I wouldn't put a percentage on it, but we need to be better. But that's what the tournaments are all about. I think every team will be better by the end of the tournament. When you start, given that a lot of the competitive players haven't played for a month or more, and even a trial for England last week is neither here nor there really. It's about playing these sorts of games together, and 3 or 4 games you'd like to think you're playing better. By the time hopefully you get to the final and the 6th game, you're going to be playing somewhere near where you think the potential of the team is.
How's Sam?
Yeah, he's up and around, but he's not his bouncy self, put it that way. But it stung him, yeah.
Any other injuries?
Outside of it, there's always a little bit of ice on everyone's ankle, leg, and hand. We're okay, I think.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.